What's going on, guys? Today is a good day. We are locking in a win of about 1,700, 1,800, give or take. Right now, I got a couple open trades, and the P&L is kind of fluctuating up and down. So depending on how those trades pan out, maybe we're more than 1,800, but right now we're sitting at about a $1,700, $1,800 green day. So very, very happy with today, especially coming off the big loss last week of 2,500. So pretty much have made back all that money that I've lost. Almost. We're almost there. So let's get into sharing the screen, and we'll get into it. Alrighty. So we had some good trades and we had some bad trades on the day. Of course, there's always good and there's always bad. So we'll go over the good, we'll go over the bad. First trade I actually took on the day was here with AMRN. Pretty straightforward. I mean, it just basically skyrocketed pre-market. And so I ended up wanting to start sizing in a short position. I did, got 100 shares here, 10 shares here, 10 shares here. And I took it off after we kind of had this little mini flag and it was breaking up. And I'm like, well, it's really not a big position. And at this time, this was about, you could see it was 8:25. I normally get onto YouTube at about 8:30. So I'm like, well, I could sit and try and manage the position while doing a stream. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So I'll just close this out for now, and then maybe I'll trade it as the market opens up and it forms something else. As you can see, I never ended up trading again on the day. So I lost 61 bucks on just an early morning short trade with a small position pre-market on AMRN. So nothing too crazy there. Okay. Now we'll go over to Netflix. Definitely traded Netflix today. So there's two trades on it, one winner, one loser, and the winner was still not even a good trade. As you can see, I got in, got out here, and then we had this nice fade, and I almost got long here. I mentioned in our chat room to our premium members, so I believe some of them caught the long there on Netflix. I didn't. I was looking at something else at the time. So first trade here, obviously you can see, Netflix is kind of fading down in the day, and I got short on this candle, looking for this candle to break down and kind of give us one of these moves. And we did. We got a breakdown candle. It was up about 120 bucks. But by the time my P&L flashed green and I was able to take shares off, the candle got sucked right back up almost instantly. And you can tell, I mean, when you look at the candle, it's just a perfect bullish hammer candle getting bought right back up. So anyways, I think that resulted in like $100 loss or something, or pretty small. Then this trade here, I got short on this candle. Before the breakdown, I clicked short. And as many of you guys know, normally I do market orders. So yes, you can get slippage with market orders. You may not always get the best fill. So I know that going into the trade, but nonetheless, I got short 300 shares here. Before this red dotted line, I click short, price starts to move down, candle gets slammed down here, and I try to cancel my order because obviously I don't want to get filled down there at that price. By the time I click cancel, shares have already gone through and I've already gotten the fill. So I was down about 100 bucks, 80 bucks on this candle until it broke down enough where I could get a small like $60 win. And I was like, well, the fill was already terrible. I don't want to deal with it. I'm no longer in this trade from where I wanted to start the trade, so I'm not going to remain in the trade. So again, I got short here for the breakdown. They fill me all the way down here, right? I wanted it there, not here. I wanted it there, not there. So again, that kind of screws up the trade plan. So I take off the trade as soon as I get some green under my belt. So ended up resulting in $46 red on Netflix today. Really would have been nice to catch that trade right there. That would have been gorgeous. All right. Next one we'll talk about is Roku. So still think I'm red on the ticker Roku today. Did I think 3 trades on it? First 2 were just not good trades, and we'll talk about them. Second trade wasn't bad. So really the first trade here, let me kind of walk you through this. As many of you guys know, Roku over the past 2 days has seen some really strong moves. So, buying into these highs today really wasn't necessarily a terrible idea, seeing if we could have that continued momentum up and through the day that we'd had been seeing on Roku for the past couple days. So there's 2 trades, 2 ins, 2 outs right in this top here. So I did quite a bit of trading right in this moment here and didn't really get anything out of it. So what we'll talk about is, we had this kind of flag break here. The ideal entry really would have been on this flag break. I waited till we got to the highs. I wanted to see how it respected the highs. And as we got up to the highs and started to break over, we still had some strong volume, and it really felt like the momentum was going to continue. So I ended up getting long 500 shares on this candle here at 134.63. It pops up. I'm green about $100. And then it just kind of feels like it's struggling and we're not going to get that instant breakthrough and run. So I start sizing out, taking positions off. So you can see I get in 500 and I close out 300, close out 50, close out 150. So I slowly took off the whole position, which amounted to a loss of like $7, right? I was looking for the break over highs and then a continuous kind of shot straight up where a big candle up and out. Didn't get it, kind of felt the weakness. So I'm like, okay, well, let's at least let it test the breakout level, right? Like this red dotted line was a previous high. I'm like, well, we haven't really had a candle push over, come back down to retest. So I'm like, all right, maybe we just want to retest first before we have the move. So this candle pushes up, comes down red, holds the breakout level, that red dotted line. I'm like, okay. So then I get long following green candle thinking, okay, that little pullback has happened. Now we're going to get the push. So I get in long 700 shares this time. After seeing the pullback, the hold, I got a little bit more confidence, sized up 700 shares. Pops up, I'm green like $100, doesn't really work out, starts to kind of feel the weakness again. And then what I recognized at this point was there was a massive divergence on the stock that I didn't recognize on the first trade, which then resulted in me closing out the entire trade. 1 second. All right, so if I pull up this RSI, there's just a ginormous bearish divergence that I was buying into, and I didn't recognize it at first, right? So we have our high a day mark, first high of the day. Look at the RSI, how big it is. It's up at 90, right? And then you have the flag break pushes up into a new high, and look at the momentum, just straight trending down, right? Just very, very bearish on the momentum there. So for a stock to put in a high a day, then move into a new high on lowered momentum, usually that run won't last. So as soon as I recognize that, I'm like, okay, nope, we're out of this. This long play is most likely not going to work out. And then you see what happens. We fade out. We go into this big head and shoulders pattern. We break down. So then later in the day, I'm like, okay, we sold off quite a bit. This is still looking pretty weak. So I sized up, took a 500 share short here at 132. Hold through the small little pullback, then we slam down to 131.74. I end up taking off 400 shares, drops down a little bit. I take off another 50 shares at 131.83, and then I held 50 shares on short to maybe hold it for a swing trade with the stop loss pretty much right here, got knocked out. So I was down altogether, I think close to like 300 or maybe 350 on Roku today. Then after the positive trade here, resulted in just a loss of 122. So I ended up making some money back there on Roku, all said and done. So not good trading here at all. Could have been good, right? Hindsight 2020, blah, blah, blah. But I did well, right? We pushed up. I took a trade, wasn't working out. I sized out slowly, took a small loss of $7. It retests, which I should have waited for in the first place. Hop back in. Trade doesn't work out. I realize there's a bearish divergence. I take the trade off as quickly as I can in that moment in time, resulting in kind of another paper cut loss, right? But if I would have holded, hoped, and prayed, and you can see what could have happened. So not bad there, okay? All right, now we're going to be looking at AMD. I didn't really trade AMD that great today. So a lot of the trades I made were just kind of like ho-hum, not that great, you know. So I ended up losing on AMD today, where I'm normally profitable on AMD. Again, you know, I was correct, just the wrong timing. And the setup here was very awkward, and this isn't like a typical formation you would see. So to see this occur was really, you know, it's not something normal you would see. Anyways, so I ended up losing $237 here. Pretty much, as you can see, we had the first morning push, we're trending up. Let me draw a trend line. So we're trending up, holding resistance just below 36.65, right? We tap down, tap, hold. So I start getting long, anticipating the break over 36.65. So I get in 2,500 shares, and as it looks a little bit better, I add in another 300, and we kind of drop out, we bounce around, and I'm closing out the trade as we're breaking this trend line, and so end up closing the trade out 36.56 for a $237 loss, right? Now, if we come back later, you can see we kind of rip back around, then look what happens. Big monster volume. Big candle breaks out over what? 36.65. The level I was initially paying attention to does in fact break out later in the day, pulls back, holds there on that breakout level very well, and then it just goes on a ripping trending move. So correct about the trade, wrong about the timing today, resulting in a $237 loss. So that's why I always say that your timing and your entry is really your most important aspect when it comes to trading. A lot of people will argue that risk management's most important. Sure, maybe it is. But to me, entry is always most important, because if you enter properly, then the likelihood that you're going to lose ain't going to happen. And then you won't have to worry about your risk management as much, because if you're constantly getting in at the right times and having winning trades, then you're not going to really be looking at your risk factor as much. You're just going to be winning. But we all know winning doesn't happen all the time, as you can see. All right. So anyways, we're right about the trade, wrong about the timing. AMD ended up losing $237. All right. Now we'll go over to SNCR. SNCR, I should have held longer on the day. Could have definitely done much better, but this was kind of a same or similar scenario to Netflix. So SNCR pops up on the day. I could already tell this is most likely going to just fade out or have a nice down move. So I end up getting short here, 2,000 shares. I was starting to kind of roll below the VWAP and break down these initial opening candles on the day. Definitely a bearish move, definitely a bearish setup. So I'm like, okay, I get short 2,000 shares. Next thing you know, market makers hold my order back and they wait for the candle to drop. Then they fill me. So same scenario happened with Netflix. Same scenario happened here on SNCR that happened with Netflix. I got in a short trade and I enter, click short at the price I want. They give me a little bit of slippage. They fill me lower than where I initially want. So instead of it being like, maybe up $600-700, I'm only up $300. And I go, you know what? Just in case this wants to do something weird, I'm just going to take this off for the win that I have of $300, considering I didn't get filled where I wanted to get filled. So the trade kind of game plan shifts. Should have kind of take off like 75%, left 500 shares on. Could have obviously had such a much better trade, but you know how trading goes. Anyways, it resulted in a $300 win there with SNCR. Now we'll go over to SE, which is big winner on the day. Oop, that's SES. We'll go over to SE. So 3 trades on SE, all winners. Jeez, come on. All right, so a total of $1,469 profit here on SE. So first trade on the day. So this is an earnings report stock, right? It's going up on the day, looking good. So you'll notice that first we open up, we have a beat red candle down. Then we have another really red candle down. This green candle was actually red initially, looking very bearish, right? Like it was going to roll over. And all of a sudden it starts getting sucked up, going green. I'm like, you know what? I bet there was people getting short in this first initial early move. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this long, anticipating those shorts get squeezed. So I end up pushing in long, 2,000 shares, get in at 36.31. Squeezes up, close them all out at 36.73 for a nice win. Okay, I think at that point I made like $600-700 or something. And then we fade out from the top here. We're just barely holding over the VWAP, and this is sort of like a little bit of a bear flag, you could argue, in here, right? We kind of have like a little bit of a descending formation, little bear flag. I'm like, this is probably going to break down, go through the VWAP. So I get short 2,000 shares at 36.25, breaks down through the VWAP, close out the 2,000 shares at 35.99, so about a win of 26 cents there. All right, and then as SE pushes, bounces all the way back to highs, rejects here once, and then kind of bounces up, starts to reject again, I end up getting short, and there was also like a little bit of a trend line here that it was starting to break, like that. So I'm getting short 2,500 shares this time, sized up, already had a little bit of a win on the day, so sized up a little bit more here, 2,500 shares, getting at 36.83, breaks, snaps, kind of jumps down to 36.71, quick scalp trade to the downside. I think I got about another $300 out of that trade, resulting in the P&L of $1,479. So pretty much everything here was just very quick kind of scalping. And it's a good thing that I did that, because I mean, you can see first trade squeezes up, then fades out. Next trade, shorts down, bounces back up, right? The only one that would have really worked out far better for holding longer would have been this top short here, because it dropped and then it had some continuation down. But either way, still really good trading there on SE, resulting in $1,400. Now, I still have an open position right now, and that's with X. X was on our watch list today. We sent it out in our emails. Again, if you want to join into our early morning email watch list, follow the link in the description to our website and then join into the daily email watch list. And then you can get our emails too if you'd like. Or you can join us to trade live with us every single day and take some of these same trades. All right, so if we look at X, let's close out these trades because we're gonna have to look at the daily chart first here to give you an idea. So if you joined in the morning stream pre-market, then you probably would have had a heads up on this one too. So this one had earnings. X Steel had earnings not too long ago, and it's just really been holding and kind of grinding back up to ideally a breakout, right? We're kind of in like a little bit of a bull flag, starting to break up yesterday, starting to break up a little bit more today. And so if we put it on like a 4-hour chart, you'll see the bullishness too. Right, if you look at it on a 4-hour, look, we have the earnings, gets pushed down, strong bounce back, holds, strong bounce back. Now we're starting to break over these highs, right? So today we're like, all right, the key levels to watch for intraday for a play is going to be, I kind of like the way that's starting to hold there. I might even add another 100 shares. Yeah, so I'm going to add another 100 shares on that trade. So anyways, the key level initially for us was over 1379. We're like, all right, if we get over that intraday, we're going to have a pop because we have a top here. So if we break that, we should pop, right? And then after that, it was really the key level to pay attention to for another breakover was this 1390. But we got a nice bull flag set up in here. And I'm like, all right, this looks pretty picture perfect for a small bull flag. We had this red candle come down, get sucked up, so I end up going in long 7,500 shares on this mini little bull flag. We pop up, I sell 5,000, so I end up getting long average price of 1384 with 7,500 shares. We pop up to 1389, I close out 5,500 for a nice win. And then it kind of pushes up a little bit more. I close out another 1,000 at 1392. At this point, I kept on 1,000 shares. We had this little dip here. I bought 200 more shares. We've come down. We've bounced again, and now I'm buying another 100 shares because I do anticipate that this is going to continue seeing upwards momentum, either for the remainder of the day or into tomorrow. And tomorrow we should have another kind of push because if this does truly want to break out, right, we haven't really even broken out, right? We're trying to. We're kind of pressing it. We're ho-humming along, but we really haven't had a breakout. Right? So if we haven't truly had the breakout and it does want to, in fact, break out, then we should see this either pick up late day, continue higher late day, close strong on the day, or tomorrow opens up and has a nice trending day. So I think it's either late day today or by tomorrow that we're going to either see the breakout happen or the breakout not happen and me be wrong. So, probably going to continue adding some shares along the way in some of these dips. And if X does come down and start crashing on the day or really breaking down, then of course I'll close out the trade. I'm not going to let it go against me too much. And I have 1,300 or $300 open P&L here. So I do have a little bit of a cushion on the ticker alone today where I could let my trade now go negative and still end up green on the day with the stock. So all in all, we're pushing about a $1,700 green day. So yeah, really, really fantastic, right? So can't complain. Another green day. So it makes Monday green, makes today green. So let's try and just keep pushing on the green days for the rest of the week. That would be ideal. So as always, appreciate you guys tuning in and, watching these videos. I hope you guys learned something new. And as always, thumbs up the video, like it, share it, subscribe. And then if you'd like to join into our private group and join us live as we do our morning breakdown and analysis and trade these stocks live throughout the day, feel free to do so. Link will be in the description to our website. 20% off coupon is there as well. And you'd want to sign up for the premium day trading chat room. All right, guys, everybody take care. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys on the next video.